started that, and in hip hop we started that, and the women just picked it up from their perspective. So
yeah,
I can't really put it 100% on them, but I'll say this: when it comes to the sisterhood, I believe it was for healing, protection, and progress. Healing, protection, and progress was the premise of the sisterhood, to my knowledge. Correct me if I'm wrong. So with that protection should come level of accountability. Tongue twisted. Accountability. I couldn't even say it. Accountability. That should become a certain level of that. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that holding your sister accountable is protection.
I like that. And vice versa stuff and all of that, and flipping it back to the male does not deal with the issue.
For sure.
It doesn't. But
that's why I said it.
Yeah, you
that's
know how
why
I
I
go,
said
man.
it, because I know how the comments was going to go. Like, well, men do it too.
Right. That's cool. You might be 100% right. In the real world, we just call that equal truths. So it could be equal truths, but it doesn't deal with the point. If you do that, you are going to lose the primary point of that conversation. I wouldn't recommend, I can't tell you what to do, but I would recommend a different approach to bringing up an issue than to hop on when a guy is bringing up an issue and flip it to men, or vice versa. Don't do that. I wouldn't recommend.
For sure.
Yeah.
And just to speak a little bit on the subcultures that go into the sisterhood or even feminism, it became the Black Girl Magic, which was a positive, very positive movement that became that subculture of that feminism and even that sisterhood. Another one was the Me Too movement. Now, with the Me Too movement came a little pushback, because with the Me Too movement, it became believe all women. And that's where that strain, that pushback became, because now you have this thing of, oh, women are lying, they're manipulative. So a lot of those times when they're saying this, it's not true, and I don't think that was the original. I'm not going to say I don't think. I know for sure that wasn't the original intent of the Me Too movement. I believe the Me Too movement, and I believe anybody could correct me if I'm wrong in this comment section, the original intention of the Me Too movement was to highlight the victims and get those victims that help. You know what I'm saying? Because with that, there was a lot of, speculation. What was she wearing? What she say? That's why I like the thing what you said before. You said no is a complete sentence.
No is a complete sentence. No, period.
No, because
bro,
none of that. It's a complete
promise,
sentence.
No is a complete sentence. And fellas, let's be honest. You know when it's a no. You know when it's a no. You know when it's a no. Let it go. No is a complete, bro. Don't make her have to be aggressive and come out of being a lady to tell you no. Take the light, soft-hearted. You know what I'm saying? Take the no. Take the approach of the gentleman in that case, bro. Don't make her go beyond that, because you don't know what's coming out of that bag if she have to go beyond that. When I say bag, I don't mean literally. I mean that mind. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what she facing that day. I definitely don't recommend. No is a complete sentence. You don't have to, and also you don't have to treat her bad after she say no. Let me go ahead and put, you can take the no and still be cool and cordial and still have a good day. It's literally just the answer to something that you suggested and she does not desire to have.
Many women have real trauma from dealing with men. And I'm talking abuse, abandonment, because, a lot of us, I don't know what it was back in the day. I think we're a lot better now. But back in the day, a lot of us did a lot of abandoning.
Right.
So a lot of women are dealing with that. And that's why we get with the discussion of bear versus man, that conversation that was going on some time ago.
Yeah.
Me myself, I don't want to be in the woods with nobody, the forest with nobody. I don't even want to be in the forest. The woods are nothing.
I'm good. I got the experience already. I don't want it. I'm good. I'm straight.
So, but I'll
Yeah.
say this: even though overwhelmingly on the internet, I can't speak for people in the real world, but on the internet, it was an overwhelming amount of women saying they would rather be in the woods with the bear. And I think a lot of those women are saying this because that's how they deal with their trauma and their abandonment and abuse that they receive from men. Not saying men don't receive the same thing, but those women
Right.
who said this had that experience. And unfortunately, what it turned into was an echo chamber. Not an echo chamber of growth. It was an echo chamber of bitterness.
Right.
And that wasn't a way for us to come together and say, all right, how can we coexist in these woods without the bear? It became well, this why you're horrible. You did
Yeah.
this to me, and it was a whole bunch of generalizations.
Yeah.
When there are a bunch of good men out there, just like there are a bunch of good women out there as well.
We
So
stop
that's
listening
what
to each other.
happens. Yes, that's what happens in these online spaces. A lot of people can't communicate under one mic. I'm gonna let you say what you gotta say, and I'm gonna say what I gotta say without invalidating your feelings and things like that. If we got a horrible problem with communicating with each other, that's why this war continues to grow online. I'm not going to say this is growing in the real world because when I'm outside and I'm in the street, I don't feel a war.
Yeah.
I think everybody's cool. You know, nobody look at me or even thought or said anything to me to make me feel less than.
It's a matter of the heart. Biblically, we say it like this from the Bible: the issues of a man floweth from his heart. So when the plan doesn't work out, or when it starts to look toxic, or when things through the process keep producing something negative, it may be what is happening in the heart. You know, fellas, we may be looking at certain things with females because of certain things we haven't gotten over in our own hearts, and it could be tarnishing the way we see what is standing right in front of us. Females, it could be the same case. It's not always the case, but I know that more times than not, if something evil or something not good or something uncomfortable is being produced habitually, it usually has to do with a singular heart matter, or a heart matter in a singular person, whether it's the one communicating or the one receiving. If somewhere between there it's starting to get poison or starting to turn negative, like a lot of songs, male or female, that's a heart issue. That's the way the heart speaks out in emergency, when we don't have the proper tools or communication skills enough to articulate what is happening in our own heads. And that's genderless.
I want to put this out there for everybody. When we have these wars with each other, it's important to do some introspective thinking. What I do want to say is, when it comes to this online gender war, is that if we continue to get lost in this chamber of women are manipulative and it's a whole bunch of misandry disguised as self-love, then we would never be on level playing field to where we can communicate with each other.
Let's get back to talking to each other. Let's get back to communicating with each other, um, regardless of what it is that we are looking for. Let's get back to talking nice to each other and understanding that the person is not a problem. You may have a problem between you and the person. When dealing with issues with the opposite sex or anybody, regardless of gender, I want you to remember this phrase: I'm not the problem. You're not the problem. We have a problem. I want us to stop identifying each other as the issue or as an issue. You know, actions come from a person, the actions are not the person. You know what I'm saying? It may communicate what the person desires, but what's coming from the person isn't the person. So you have to change how you think about people. We are not the problem. We have a problem between us.
And here at Real Day Nation, we promote gender cooperation, not gender competition. We're not enemies. As Joe mentioned before, we're puzzle pieces,
That's
right?
it.
Instead of arguing who brings what to the table, let's talk about how we go build this table together.